We now live in a prior period. We live in a period in which black people were living in the 1950s and 60s.
That's right, that's right.
We are deeply entrenched in economic subjugation. Economic subjugation is this, is where they hire you last and fire you first, where they pay you less and charge you more, and where they work you harder so you die sooner.
The black family household only has about $3,000 in wealth, whereas the average white household has $116,000 in wealth. I mean, that's crazy if you really think about it and so forth. And that, one of the boards over here, I saw one of the statistics I always say that it'll take 228 years for the average black household to catch up to close that wealth gap. 228 years, and that's assuming that there's that the white wealth gap, that the white wealth does not increase.
This speaks to the I don't care. Equity is a step in the right direction. Equity is not the goal. Equity is just trying to even and deal with past flaws in the system. But we are going for our full potential, our full capacity, what's fully and rightfully ours, our birthright. And so we have to be looking out beyond any situation of equity. It's always just a step, and we need to be thinking about, once we get there, what will we do next?
We just started something called the Community Reinvestment Alliance of Southern California. We added in all the other cities because it matters. So every time big business comes or goes, we want to negotiate benefits agreements. Every time there's inequity that shows up in the workplace that's significant enough that we can talk about it, we want to have the alliance in there. I want every resident, black business, anybody that wants to join, let's go. And it's about pushing forward with an agenda that includes advocacy and business investment in Southern California in a way that is strategic, it's aggressive, it's powerful, it's impactful. This is what we need now. Yes. Get the money.
And at the Los Angeles Black Workers Center, we want to lift up the fact that what has changed is that in the last almost 20-25 years that the black community in Los Angeles has been reduced by about 100,000 people. And that, so at this point, I think when I first moved here, we were 15% to 70% of the population. Now we're less than 9% of the population. But the thing that hasn't changed is that we overrepresent in every preventable issue. So when you look at houselessness or homelessness, you would think that when you go to Skid Row, this is a majority black city. We represent 35 to 40% of the houseless or the homeless on the street. We are overrepresented in foster care. I think we make up about 40% of the foster care, again, at less than 9% of the city's population, the county's population.
As a community, this codependence that we have must be treated. Yes. And that becomes the pathway to our own liberation, because we can then walk in our own brand of dignity.